Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is Monday, February 11, 2013. This is Texan TV News from Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas, and I am Julie Gutierrez. In today's headlines, tomorrow marks the beginning of No Hate Week. Local law enforcement trains for active shooters. Texas man accused of murders free on bond. Law enforcement in full pursuit of former LAPD officer. 10 citizens of India are dead after stampede. Texan softball host invitational tournament, as well as today's weather. Now, today's top story. The Associated Press reports that early this morning, Pope Benedict XVI announced that he will resign on February 28th. After having repeatedly examined my conscience before God, I have come to the certainty that my strengths, due to an advanced age, are no longer suited to an adequate exercise of the Petrine ministry, he told the cardinals. The 85-year-old Pope announced his decision during a meeting of the cardinals. Benedict, being the first pontiff to resign in nearly 600 years, emphasized that being the leader of more than 1 billion Roman Catholics worldwide requires both strength of mind and body. He says he is simply too infirm to carry on. In breaking news, memorial services for Chris Kyle will be held today at 1 p.m. at Cowboy Stadium in Dallas. Go to texannews.net beginning at 12:45, where the funeral service can be viewed with Cover It Live. Kaylee Bedingfield will be broadcasting on this story tomorrow. In Tarleton News, starting Tuesday, the Office of Diversity and Inclusion is participating in No Hate Week. The event, used to raise awareness for the LGBT community, will run through Friday. According to Dr. Laura Helvey Mason, the director of ODI, this is a grassroots civil rights movement where participants take a picture with the No Hate logo on their cheek. Helvey Mason went on to say that the No Hate campaign is a charitable organization whose mission is to promote marriage, gender, and human equality through education, advocacy, social media, and visual protest. The movement was started in California in 2008 by photographer Adam Busca and has grown exponentially over the past 4 years. While its foundation was in the LGBT community, No Hate seeks to stop discrimination and bullying of all kinds. For students wishing to participate or just seeking more information about the event, there will be an awareness table in the Thompson Student Center all week. In regional news, according to the Empire-Tribune, area law enforcement took place in active shooter training at Stephenville ISD schools last week. The training was done after hours when only law enforcement officials were on campuses. Officially called Rapid Response and Rescue, the training was held in conjunction with classes instructed and supervised by Lieutenant Greg Evans, along with Erath County Sheriff's Department and other enforcement who have attended special schools on the subject. The training is to better prepare officers for worst-case scenarios, such as having an active shooter in a school building or when an officer has been shot. Evans, with 35-odd years of experience, said a good portion of that experience was with SWAT, and he hoped to share what he knew with these officers. We will work every day until all of the officers in the county are trained, Evans told the newspaper. Officials with the Sheriff's Office and Stephenville PD said they were thankful for the chance to have their officers trained for these drastic situations. Tarleton PD officers were also in attendance during this special training. And now today's Texas national and international news from the Associated Press. In Texas news, a West Texas man accused of murdering his wife in Colorado in 2008 has been set free on bond. A judge declared mistrial when jurors were deadlocked on the case. Frederick Harold Mueller was released late Saturday in Gunnison, Colorado. The San Angelo Standard-Times reported Sunday Mueller had been jailed in Colorado for more than a year. The jury began deliberating Wednesday and was deadlocked 11-1 in favor or acquittal Saturday. Prosecutors are now faced with the tough decision of whether to retry the case. The judge has scheduled a conference on February 19th to see how prosecutors want to proceed. A tentative trial date was set for April 29th. 51-year-old Mueller is suspected in the drowning death of Dr. Leslie Mueller. Mueller's obituary describes her drowning in a creek as a hiking accident near their vacation home in Lake City, Colorado, about 55 miles south of Gunnison. In national news, droves of officers fanned out at daybreak Saturday in the snow-covered San Bernardino Mountains in search of a former LAPD officer. Officers resumed their search for the former LAPD officer suspected of murdering 3 people in a vengeance-fueled rampage, aimed at those he blamed for ending his career. Authorities were optimistic that fair weather conditions would allow aircraft to aid them find rogue Christopher Dorner. Unrelenting snowfall Friday grounded helicopters with heat-sensing technology and encumbered efforts to find the fugitive. Dorner's pickup truck was found a day earlier in the ski resort town. SWAT teams draped in camouflage scoured the mountains Friday and went door to door, examining vacant cabins. All the while, these brave men are aware to the reality they could be walking into a trap set by the well-trained former Navy reservist, who knows their tactics and strategies as well as they do. According to the AP, a $1 million reward has been offered for the fugitive Dorner, but has so far prompted no credible leads. A tactical alert began Sunday afternoon and has remained in effect Monday for all city officers, which simply means officers are staying on duty beyond their scheduled shifts. In international news, the AP reports 10 people are dead and many more are hurt after a stampede took place in India on Sunday. The stampede occurred at a train station where a Hindu celebration was taking place. Part of a bridge fell after being overcrowded, leading to the stampede. Thousands of people were at the Allahabad train station at the time. The scene was a disaster as police tried to calm the crowds. The 55-day festival is one of the most renowned for the Hindu religion. It includes Hindus following traditions such as bathing in what they believe to be a sacred water-filled river. Millions of people are always expected at this event, which occurs 4 times every 12 years in 4 Indian cities. In sports. In campus sports, the Tarleton Texans softball team hosted an invitational this weekend. The Texans won against Texas Permian Basin 11-3, and again against Oklahoma Panhandle 10-0 on Saturday. The Texans finished up the weekend with 9-1 win versus Oklahoma Panhandle and 6-3 versus Texas Permian Basin. Good job, ladies, and congrats. The Texan basketball team fell 86-70 against Abilene Christian in Abilene this weekend. In national sports, the New York Knicks fell 88-102 against the Los Angeles Clippers in Sunday's game at Madison Square Garden, as well as the Los Angeles Lakers falling to the Miami Heat 107-97. In the NFL, talk of the Dallas Cowboys being over the salary cap is rising. CBSSports.com reports the Cowboys to be at least $20 million over the cap and facing penalties from the NFL. Jerry Jones is likely to extend Tony Romo's contract, meaning other players such as Miles Austin will face changes in salary. Players such as Jay Ratliff and Gerald Sensabaugh may be cut from the team. According to WeatherChannel.com, today's forecast calls for partly cloudy skies with a high of 66 and a low of 46, with a 20% chance of precipitation. Tomorrow we can expect it to be a little cooler, with a high of 57 and a low of 35. We're likely to see some precipitation, with a 40% chance of rain, most of those being early morning showers. Today's broadcast was produced by Ian Traub, Lance McFarland, Becca Burnett, and Nick Duvall. You can follow Texan News Service on Facebook and Twitter. Also, check us out on www.texannews.net. I am Julie Gutierrez. Tune in tomorrow for the latest news from Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas.